Hey there, it's Will and Mike here. We're about town out in the country today. Took a little journey out to Eckles Township, and we heard there was some a renewal in one of the cemeteries. So we're going to go see what we can find out. Look at the group we got here. Mighty fine group. How you doing today? Will and Mike here from About Town. Who do we have?
Russ Gustafson.
Don Larson.
Bonnie Blum.
Reuben Blum.
Dennis Halverson.
Georgia Halverson.
Oh, you got a call there, Irv. Anybody important? So, Irv, tell us a little about what's been going on here.
Well, we started here 26 years ago in this place here, in that old woven wire fence. And we tore it all up because it looks so terrible. Somebody from, I don't know, Washington or someplace wrote town board or letter about getting it straightened out. And so we come over on Sunday afternoon, that's for the first Sunday in May, and a bunch of people got together, about 15 or so. A lot of them are dead that did participate in this deal. And we cleaned it up. We took out 5 wagon loads of just grass and hay out of here, and we mowed it. And then my girls, they mowed it for about 4 or 5 years after that, or maybe 6 years. Then Russell here, he took over and mowed it after that, and got the place all leveled up. And we had quite a mess around here. Bob Murray came and helped us survey that first time around here, and it all went pretty well. I mean, it's got come along for a long time. We've been saving our money for 26 years now to fix this thing.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
And they wanted to have a sign, this arch up here above our head. They said they wanted $3,900 for that arch, and I said, well, I can make one a whole lot cheaper than that. So anyway, I called the seal up down here, and he had the tubes bent. And then we got this King Archers out of, I think, Texas. They sell them little letters here for $6 a piece. And then, of course, it took quite a while to put this together, the top of it, because it's on an arch like that, and get the letters spaced out so they look decent and everything was straight. And it's been quite a lengthy project for me. I've been working on it for about 3 years off and on.
I admire people that like to do it for themselves.
Anyway, it's like this. If you don't take any pride in your community, you're not worth a whole lot. Instead of cutting the community down once in a while, maybe you try and get along and try to make it better. And that's what we try to do here. We're doing this for nothing. We did all this for nothing.
How about give us a little tour? Can we go inside?
Everything's homemade. The latches and everything else. J.C. Kapiski, he had a picture in that King Archer's book, and he just blew up to about the size what he wanted, and then he cut out of with a plasma, with one cutter he got, and then Dennis and I, we bent all these around here, and it was just cold. It worked out pretty good, but while we made the gates, we had them bent, the top pieces, and we didn't like it. So then we drew out a picture on the floor. It's just a square, you know how you always square up something. We had draw out the length, what we wanted, the height, and then we squared it, and then we took a soapstone and drew out a picture on the floor what we wanted. I mean, I had a square there, so we knew what was going to. We just drew out an arch like that, and we got the arch the way we wanted. And Dennis and both thought that looked pretty good. So we went out the front loader and turned that the right direction so we could bend it. And we bent it Chandler in that way, and that's how we did both gates like that.
So who was that did the artwork there?
J.C. Welding, Kapiski Welding, Josh Kapiski. He got one of them cutters, that plasma cutter, yes. And he cut off for, see, King Archer's had this on a scale in a book, and he just blew up so many times with his computer, and that cut off for us. And
so that's an old medieval tree.
Yes, and he did a nice job on it, and these were cut out 2 years ago. And this piece up here was, when was that, 2 years ago this fall? I think 3 years ago I made that piece on top there, and finally got that done in the spring, and then the following fall we put this in here, the post, and then 2 years ago we started them gates, and that's all. Then they sat in the garage all winter, and then we got real busy in the spring there, and Dennis and I did, it took all day to put all them stretched up and down and pieced up and down, and get them all centered for the letters, and we must have spent another day putting letters on, at least a day, putting letters on the doggone thing.
Do you figure those are those roe or are those white-tailed deer, do you figure?
I don't know what they are.
In the old country, they called them, it wasn't a roe, I think they called them.
I don't know what they are, but I thought it looked pretty nice when he got done with it. Made it look nice. Then Georgia here, she painted them and made them look real nice, and I'd really dressed the thing up. I thought them there, and she painted all the flowers and all that stuff, and it took a while. I mean, to put all this together and put in your mind how you like to have it look when you got done. And it turned out the way it's supposed to turn out. So it was kind of nice to see.
We'll have to be careful around hunting season. They look so real, you never know. How about a little tour inside here?
Okay. Well,
I hear there's some older plots in here.
Right here's one right here.
Oh yeah. How many The people that have plots in here, are most of these families still in the area?
No, I never could find anybody here or Teskey's. I did find some Walden's relatives down by Guthrie, I believe it was. 1897 it says there, doesn't it? It's hard to see. No, that's it. Teskey, yeah. That's. I did find some documents that go to say Teskey Cemetery, so I'm kind of suspecting that that's what it was at one time. It's right here, 1897.
It looks like Frederick and
Fred and Anna.
Anna. Mother and
Anna.
father.
Yeah, the mother's there's no burial date on that I can see.
But she was born 1887, it looks like.
18 or 37. Then there's Walden here. This is an old. Well, the death is down below, or there's nothing down here. His mother, and then I think this is probably when he was born. Then this is when the father passed away.
Well,
Intern.
there are people that travel all around the United States and go to old cemeteries to get family history.
I've had his history center has talked a little bit, but up here, but they gave me some stuff, but that wasn't. Here's another old one, Waldron's.
Dolly.
And a baby Walden. It says 1911.
And it looks like 1871, apparently, Dolly was born.
And then there's 1911. But there's another one on this side, another Martin, but I can't really tell too much about the year date.
So this stone, when did you move into the area, or were you born here?
I was born up by Black Duck, but I moved back here in '84.
And Irv, these stones have been here ever since you've been around?
Yeah, I lived here 68 years, and according to what I know about it, Arnold Hall's one filled me in. We used to this neighbor's 25th anniversary, and one of his relatives were looking for Tell Cemetery. And as far as I know, Marion Edwards and Clarence Sartre on the board, and I've heard him mention many times Tell. And what I've gathered, what Arnold told me, this guy had a field back here, and he put hay in a wagon, and he fell off and broke his neck, and that's how it got named Tell. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I know about it. And about 1967 or 66, 67, somewhere here, I think that's when it was. It could have been earlier than that. I must have been that. Maybe 60, maybe late middle 60s. Bill Hurd was a clerk at the time. The little records for our township got burned up in his house when it burnt. Naturally, we have no records on the cemetery very well. They're all there. That's all I know about it. I mean, that's all I can tell you about it. But Arnold was one to tell me everything here.
And how much acreage is there right here?
I don't. Yeah, must be. I don't know. There's 700 and some lots.
So this
704.
This piece of property is deeded to
Township.
the township.
Belongs to Eckles. Yep.
Okay. And you have a lot more space in here, it looks like.
Oh yeah, these are those two back there. Those two lots were sold before they put the moratorium on.
This guy gets the front guy filled before he put him on
Yeah.
the back.
Say that again.
We have to fill the front up there before you open the back up anymore.
And who is eligible to be planted here?
Anyone. But the people in the township got a little less per lot. But anybody who's on the outside of the township has to pay more.
Is there a lot charge?
Yes, there is.
$100
$100 for residents.
$100 for residents and former residents, and $300 for non-resident.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. I think I've written 4 or 5, 4 new deeds probably in the last 10, 15 years.
Well, as they say, people are dying to get in.
Yeah.
I got mine right by the road there.
Yeah, he wants to watch.
There, so I can watch everybody when they go by to make sure it's still working yet. And going fast enough.
What do you think about when did they repave 89 here and widen it?
Oh man, 70. I was still working.
Yeah, about 71. I had the orange school bus, so 72,
71,
73. 72 or 73.
Right.
Yep.
How do you feel about the changes out in the area here? The wider road, the faster traffic?
Well, it hasn't bothered me any, I guess. Just, everybody's got to have a place to live, and I'm not telling anybody where to live. That's their own business. You know, I'm not a dictator, so.
You live right over by the town hall, don't you, Irv?
No, I live up on 22, right 3 mile off 22 on Eckles Road.
Okay.
But you know, we've had a neighborhood, and everybody's backed us on this stuff, and they helped us build a community center for the entire area, and a lot of people helped us fix the cemetery up. You know, I think it's quite accomplishment, you know, for people in the neighborhood to do that on their own.
Totally. How many people were involved in this update?
Well, I don't know what it was, about 6 or 7 last time. Was
Yeah,
it?
there was
No, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 people at most, the very most.
there's been several more at different times.
Yep.
And I see you have a nice new road in here.
Yep.
Makes it easier for people to get in and out. Do they have a annual Memorial Day get together here?
No, we never have, but we're going to put gravel in this here. But you know, all you had then was some more grass to grow up, and people would be driving all over the lots here and everything else. This way, they got a place to stay when they come here and stay on the tar, and most people will respect that. So they won't be driving all over the cemetery, and that's what this tar is put in there for. And we had the funds raised. Like I said, it took 26 years to get this funds to do this job. We could have spent all the money on that gate there if we wanted to, because that gate would probably cost us $7,000 to build. Easy. Because I spent many hours on that. Dennis helped me a lot, and well, that top piece, I know darn well off and on. I got to do something. I got to do that when I got time to do it. Otherwise, I get disgusted and I quit. And it ain't got, you know. And if you got to be in the right mood to do something like this here. You got to do it when you're in the right mood and everything. So I got that done in the fall, and had a couple of guys come and look at it. It looked pretty decent, so that's what we did. And then I decided before we got posts in there, we put pegs on top. Now I thought I threaded them, but I didn't. We threaded them up here, put lights up there, so you know, kind of something different. And drive by a little fancier, that's all. It's probably one of the nicest cemeteries in the States when you come right down to it right now.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yep.
I see there's a fence all the way around. Do we get a lot of deer in here, I suppose?
Well, that was fenced all years ago, I imagine, by the CCs, I would think, when they put this in, probably, you know. And they just fix it up, and it's... Eventually, we're going to take that fence off, whether it's supposed to ever get enough money, or... It probably will never happen, because the ambition's running out in this country anyway. Nowadays, nobody wants to do nothing.
And we're surrounded. We have some jack pine, and what is that, white or red pine there?
Norway, yeah, all Norway.
Wait, was that a plantation?
Well, that's when the fire went through Pinewood, or not Pinewood, down that fire started out down there by Jankowski's back in 61. Yeah, 60 or 61. 61.
Was this part of the big Pinewood fire?
No, this is a different one. This came from the south and went north. That came right down there where Boston Motor's at. Where the house sits in the water, they're kind of like half part of the time on the road there. Right where Boston 89 meet right there. The house on the north side of the road has kind of got a lot of water. Oh, yeah. Well, the guy was skidding wood there, and a tractor caught on fire, and the wind blew up here that day. It took to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon to get up here. It started at noon. It took about 4 hours to get up this far. And Leonard Geiswood, yeah, a cat back in there fighting it, and they thought he got burnt in that fire, but nothing happened. He was a long way away from it. Leonard did a lot of fighting fire that day, and they finally come up here, and they put a backfire up here north of right by Radar Road, and that stopped it.
We have a little better fire coverage than we did 40 years ago, or 50 years ago, I guess.
50.
And we get the DNR out, and they have their helicopters. And
It's very nice. You know, the plantation looks very nice, and I hope it never catches on fire, because it just looks very, very nice to me.
it's a nice, tranquil spot.
And it's all, we took most of the trees out because it's hard to mow around them. Very hard.
Is there any prohibition against raised markers? I know that's usually a controversy in cemeteries.
We better put up markers so you can see it, because most of these places, you know, they get in the ground, you can't find them after about 35 years. If the family ain't there to take care of them. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that. I think there should be a marker they can see.
Who does the maintenance in the cemetery?
Well, it's, my daughter did it first here for quite a while, and then Russell, he took it over many, many years. And the guy right next door, he had his son mowing it a little bit, but I don't know what's going to happen there now.
So people take turns. It goes around. Shared responsibility.
Yeah, we hope so.
So speaking of a little bit of history, where did you go to school?
Right over there, about I think about 2 miles east here and a mile south on the corner down there.
What was the name of the school?
Bowers. Then they went down to Oregon down there for the next 4 years, and that's down there by on Balsam Road.
What year was the last year that you attended Bowers School?
Bowers School, third grade. They consolidated Bowers and Oregon together, and then after that they consolidated Wilton and Oregon. So
what year would have that been?
Oh man, he was in the 60s. I know that. because
they maintained school.
oh yeah,
up until the
no, in
60s.
71 I think when they disbanded Eckles Township, District 29 and District 31 took it over.
Do you have any idea what happened to the old school building?
Yeah, Steve Prince bought it and he tore it down and made that corner down and put 3 trade houses and fixed it up very, very nice.
Some of the people that have family members buried here, some of these people probably went to those schools, perhaps.
Could have, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why a lot of people had to go to town and get buried, because, they should be buried where they grew up at. And my folks are both laying in Greenwood Cemetery, which they should be in this one right here. My dad, he was born in Eckles Township. I was born in Eckles Township, and that's where he should stay. Why should we go to town and make somebody else pay for using their lots?
These are some interesting, modest stones here.
We don't know. We don't know what nothing about, so. And Don Larson, he made the pillar. He called Don Larson. He said, I'd like to put some stone pillars up there. So in the corners, it's kind of got time. And someday I'm retired and I can do that. So he came and after you put the gates up here or the fence up, then he come and put them stone pillars in. When we fit the gate to the pillars and everything like that.
He sounds familiar, I think. Was he the fellow that built the 10 Commandments?
He's the fellow that built the 10 Commandments.
Down on Highway 2 in Wilton. Right. And he lives right across the street.
Yep.
That's a beautiful place he lives.
Yep. He's a very, very talented man with cement work. All his relatives were in that all for years and years. All his relatives have been a lot of cement masonry people.
What is that little lake down there?
Larson Lake back at his house. On the south side of the highway.
This is our 100th year, too, by the way, the cemetery, that it was plotted.
You have a little history. Tell me what you got there.
Eckles Cemetery, established December 1912, and was surveyed by an R.K. Billner. He was the county surveyor at that time. There's a total of 704 lots, 115 are sold, and there's approximately 40 burials that we can tell. The new record book was completed, and then Mel and I went through and verified everything, and he's about 3-4 years ago probably. The records were non-existent, and they said that there was a fire at some period of time in a township clerk's house. Well, we got a new record book, and everything's completed. We verified as best we could, made deeds for everything, and they're at file at the courthouse. You owe a lot of people to get this thing done. And we looked at some of the gravestones. I think you took pictures of them, and 1897 is the oldest one.
Who do we have here?
Dennis Halverson.
And I hear you had something to do with the gates here also.
Oh, yeah. Worked together with Irv here on them.
You did the welding, and
we both done welding.
And whose garage were they put it together in?
It was over in Irvin's.
Oh, it was Irv's. Okay. What else can you tell us about the fabrication of the gate here?
Well, pretty much, I guess, what all Irv's told you so far, But
well, you weren't here, so tell us your recollection.
Well, like I said, we've worked on this, about 3 years here off and on, in our spare time. And it's taken a lot of time to put it together. But
well, it's much more substantial than it used to be. It's a project you can be proud of into the future.
I think so, I'm sure there's someone that's going to have something to say about it, negative, but oh well. That's how things go.
Do you have a spot picked out here? Do you have your eye on a spot?
No, not yet. So
it's too early to think about that.
I've lived to be 100 at least, so I got time.
You must have about 60 years left, I suppose.
It would be nice, but I ain't got that much, I don't suppose.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part was getting that main arch set up. Getting that bent to right, Like you said, we done it on the floor, grew out a pattern, and just bent it little by little. That's about all we did.
How did you feel when it was finally the installation was complete?
Felt good.
Did you have a little gate warming party down here?
Not yet. We haven't, but we're going to.
And do you know Memorial Day? Do you notice people come?
I think you'll see a lot more of them this year coming. Because Because before, it was so shabby looking that, and there's been a lot of them that's just come to look at the gates right now. So,
Does the Eckles Township put on any special event for during the year here in the spring or summer?
for the cemetery,
Just Eckles in general.
well, we have our annual picnic every year.
What time is that? What month?
Let's see, in June.
So shortly after Memorial Day.
Yeah. Wait a minute. No, we have it in July. That's right. In July we have it picnic.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll get more people coming to visit here.
Oh yeah. It's like I said. There's been a lot of them stopping here now, just more or less looking. So.
Well, a lot of history contained in this little acre.
Oh, yeah.
How big do you think this is? 2 acres? An
About
acre?
2 acres. Yeah.
2 acres.
And there's several. I never noticed it before there, but there's several World War vets in here.
Oh, we'll have to go out and.
Right over there. And some from Korea, vets.
Do you remember any of the folks that are in here?
Well, I don't know, other than just our neighbors here. That's Wilsons and Gilchristons and some of them, and then Roy Antle's wife over here is buried.
In the oldest grave over here, it's not Waldron, it's this other one in the corner.
Well, then there's one over here is 1886.
Do you have any idea who that family was?
I have no idea. It's long before I was over in this area.
How long have you lived here?
32 years.
Is there anything else you can think? Anything you'd like to say to the people of Bemidji and Eckles Township?
It's I guess I'd like to see more people involved in this, in the whole community. But I don't know. It seems like it's just a few all the time that we can gather, So
Well, people learn by example, so.
You bet. Other than that, I guess we covered pretty much everything.
See, Melander just showed up, didn't he?
Yeah, Melander, yeah.
Melander.
Yeah.
Is he still on the town board? No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both him and his wife.
Okay, he lives out here too, somewhere.
Yeah, they live just over here.
You guys done an amazing thing.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with it.
And this fence is new.
Yeah.
Well,
We're hoping maybe, who knows when, but we'd like to get another part up on the ends here fenced. On both,
go back a ways into the woods. The previous fence, there was a little white fence, wasn't there?
A little old board fence here, but it was getting pretty rickety, And that's been here for quite a few years.
Yeah, this actually is the first time I've set.
Gentleman that him and I was the one that did the records.
Who do we have here?
Mel Melander.
Hi, Mel, Will,
Will.
and Mike.
Okay.
All about town,
Oh, okay.
or about town. Well, we're about the township today.
About the township today. Good. Now, we've been working on this since about 2004, 2003 in terms of getting this thing sorted out and brought back up to speed.
Well, looks like you did a dandy job.
We used Sentence to Serve, and we used Sentence to Serve was very helpful in cleaning up the back part of this. And a lot of community involvement, a lot of volunteer involvement. We've probably got $8,000 or $9,000. Well, now with the pavement in here, we've probably got $15,000 in here, and there's $35,000, $40,000 worth of work been done. So it's more about the community doing things than it is about trying to get it sorted out. We're pretty proud of it now.
What do you know, Mel, about some of the people that are buried here? Do you have any personal recollections?
No, I do not. Only what Russ and I were able to glean from the records when we sorted it out and marked it all out. And
I heard you went through and surveyed and put new lot lines in.
on the front half we have. We're going to do that on the back half. Russ Gustafson and myself Taped that all out with a tape measure and put the stakes in and everything about, 3 years ago?
Maybe even longer.
Maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So, and at that time, it was when we started really cleaning it up. And there was a broken down fence around the outside, and
It was quaint.
it was old.
I
was old.
I always would, tilt my head and take a gander at when I drove by, and yeah, I remember it. It always looked nice, though.
It was always mowed. And one of the things was people started to request burial spots in here and everything. We had difficulty finding the lots and the places where they were supposed to be, and they were locating graves in wrong places and things. So that prompted a lot of this.
So who do we call if someone wants to get a spot here? Is there, excuse me, I think they're called sextons.
They're called sextons. Russ is our sexton. Russ Gustafson is our sexton, but you can call,
I got a new title. I didn't know that.
but you can also call the town clerk, and the town clerk will make sure that the right person is contacted and all the documentation is done.
And part of that process, are you able to come out and actually pick a spot?
Yes. Mark it right for them. Show them right where it's at. That's the work that Mel and I, when we put the corners and all that stuff in. So
It seems like more and more people are doing pre-planning.
Well, and this cemetery is marked so that people we can find a gravesite and a grave spot in up to about 2 feet of snow, even with the pigs and everything that we put in here, and that was part of the reason for doing it.
And a family, if they wanted to, could purchase more than one lot?
Absolutely. There are lots available that have 8 burial spots in them, and they can purchase a whole spot, or they can purchase one plot.
Is it 8 for the price of 7, or do you get a discount?
There are no discounts. They're very reasonably priced.
We heard that $100 or $300.
it's $100 for residents and former residents, and $300 for non. We kept that kind of high, the non-residents, so we could. Like I said, kind of the township wanted to keep it up, so get our residents here and former.
Good. Well, is there anything else you can think that would enlighten us?
Well, only that you have a whole group of township residents that are very proud of this thing at this point, and we've done it for considerably less than if we'd have had to hire it done. Taking trees out of the burial areas. All that's done with volunteer labor as it occurs and as it's necessary.
It's a thing of beauty. That's nice to see communities doing for themselves.
This community has also completed a community center that we use as a town hall as well over on County Road 9 that was done at considerably less cost than if we would have had to purchase the whole thing and do it. It was all built by the residents and funded by the residents, and that community center is used almost every weekend for different activities around the country, and it's used by citizens not only in Eckles Township but the entire area.
Rent's pretty reasonable.
It rents very reasonable, but more importantly, there's plenty of parking, there's plenty of space if they need to get in out of the weather. There's a covered picnic area for outside kids play area, and they do a nice job of having it available and being able to cook a meal and serve a meal. And in the wintertime, we get together and play cards over there once a month with the community, the people that live out here in the community. And
is that whist?
At least whist. Some other things, but whist is the most important.
Do the guys get together with cigars later?
Well, there aren't any cigars inside, but they might outside. I don't smoke them anymore.
I see you have rocks for sale over there too.
We do, and actually that's one of our town board members that picks them up wherever they're found in the roads and things, and brings them over there, and we just sell them, and that goes to support the community center. There's no profit made in that at all.
Well, That's good to know. There's some dandy boulders sitting in the front.
And they're just taken out of the roads as we do road projects. We have to get rid of them anyway, so by putting them over there, we are able to sell them, and the proceeds go back in to support the community center.
Great. Good to know. This can be some rocky country in places.
It can be. This community has really come together in a very positive way. And Eckles Township, I've been here 17 years now, and it's almost doubled in population.
Is it the fastest growing township in Beltrami County?
I don't know if it's the fastest, but it's one of them. The land is still reasonable out here. That contributes a lot to it. Yeah.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, it's a nice area. We're pretty proud of it.
Well, thanks for your time today. Do you have any parting words?
Get involved in your community.
Thanks, Mel. Good to see you.
No, it's a voting fence.
There.
Is this steel or aluminum? So they won't fade, corrode.
And they've all been clear coated, so salt should not eat them. And they've all got stainless steel screws in them, so they won't eat off. And but you know, you put all this stuff together, they want to warp so bad when you put the stuff together. And it, like I said, it took all day to put these 12 pieces and them 24 pieces in these gates alone. And then see, it's got a valve up here. It's a breakaway valve. It's a piece of board. If you hit that good and hard, that board will break and these gates won't get bent. That's the reason for that.
If somebody pulled in here at night and didn't judge the distance.
The other car goes by and loses control, they can go hit the gate and it'll fly wide open. It won't hurt the car much, it won't hurt these gates any.
Sort of thought of everything here.
Well, I tried to, everything. It took a long time to put all the stuff together and get it so it all fit right and keep it straight when you're doing it. That's the big thing, you know, warp and do all kinds of stuff to it. But anyway, this is open. But you're seeing it. We ain't quite done with this here. They got to make on a school bus, they got a lock. You push it down with your hand, and then you open the door. Well, I want to put a pin on another stake over there, and you go on with two locks, one for each side of these gates. And when that gate goes open, there'll be a shoe on the bottom and a lock on top. So when they open up, bang, hits that in the shoe, and then anybody won't be able to jump on the big gates and bend them. That's the reason for that. I don't want to see them bent up.
And to keep the wind from blowing them back and forth?
Yes, but this here, I figure it should hold so far. It's been here about a week now, and it hasn't bothered anything, so it should be okay with the wind we've had. And Mrs. Halverson, Georgia painted all these letters and painted up all that stuff. And we was going to paint these down here, but we kind of thought it might get too gaudy looking, so we didn't do that. We got enough paint on here.
It's nice and simple.
Yes, it was. Simple, long time doing. And Georgia's got pictures of in her camera over there. She can get email to you of the patterns of the stuff and the stuff when we're putting it together here. We come along here at night, we set this up with a truck, you know, with a loader. We had to grab it up there so we didn't bend it, and everything else got all set, put cement on it. And the truck was sitting quite a ways out towards the highway there because you get height, you get a long way away from it. It getting pretty dark, and here comes the sheriff by. I don't know if he had intended to stop or what, but he put his brake lights on. I'm going to say, well, you better watch out here. It could be a permanent address at 698 there. But I think you want to stop looking and see how things are going, but he probably got a call about the time I'm going to go back to town. Had to go back to town and do something else.
That really turned out nice.
No, it all turned out the way I wanted, as far as I'm concerned. I got nothing to complain about. It actually, when it come down here, we put it together and it all fit. I couldn't believe it. Everything fit for once. Well, I'm glad we got it done. I mean, I'm glad to throw it, and we got a good community center. We got a nice cemetery, and I think that's about enough for one lifetime.
There you go. Good and sturdy and simple, and just like the residents of Eckles.
I wonder what it'd be like to buy them gates if you had to have them hired made. All this stuff.
Yeah.
Many thousands of dollars, I'll tell you that.
I'm sure.
Oh gosh. It'll look like much, you know, but boy, when you start putting it all together and trying to keep things straight and lined up, it's a long time. It took a long time to do all that. You know, and so it stayed there, so it wouldn't fall apart again right away. And it should never fall apart, it should stay together.
Thing of beauty.
It's strongly built, and I think that's the way it should be.
Tell me about the lights up top here.
Oh, we went on about a couple of solar lights because I thought it looked kind of nice up there, so we might want to get up and walk around here at night.
Are those
solar lights?
They're solar?
Yeah. They weren't very expensive. We paid for them ourselves. I wanted them up there. That looked pretty nice. Something a little different.
I'll have to drive by at night. I haven't noticed it yet at night.
No, I drove by there one night to take a look at them. Then we was over there last Sunday. We had a Sunday cleanup, you know. Them guys cut all the branches off, and I like that a lot better. Them darn branches are catching every time you move grass around there. So terrible. Them balls come down, hit you in the face and spruce. And we had big spruce right here. We had to take them all before we put these in too, you know. Some great big spruce. They were huge. They're about 20 inches on a stump. And roots. Oh my God, they had roots on them. But Freddie come over, Calvin come over the front and load them out. Then we come back to the truck and load up all the brush and haul it home and put in the brush pile. So, no, I'm glad it's done. This is one more little accomplishment done for a lifetime. I'm going to be, this is it. I'm done. I'm quitting. The rest is going to be mine now. But I want to see the cemetery cleaned up. You know, it's such an eyesore. So many people want to take a pride in the community. That's what bothers me the most. People don't want to do nothing except sit home, watch TV, and bellyache. Go on, get busy and do something. Help your community out. Take some pride in it.
Well, this is more exciting than The Price is Right. I'll tell you that.
I bet you know you got something to show for your time. You know, what do you get when you sit there and hitting the house and bellyache and write comments about how poor everything is and how bad the way the money has been spent? You know, when you only live for 3-4 years and start bellyaking about, maybe you should live here all your life for 68 years. So, in the road I lived on, my grandpa moved there in 1912. We got 2 loads of dirt from the township. First time we went over the road was when I went to go to Bauer School. I had to walk around north and walk down there. So, but they had a bus the second year, so they come right away to walk from North Corner, take you up North Corner and home. But then my grandpa used to be on town board or county board for about 28 to 48, so 20 years. So he went down and talked to the county board, and they put that dirt across the slough down there. Got dirt from his place and right there and filled up the slough again. Well, in 1975, when my daughter had heart surgery, we had to go on to university with her, and when we come back, we took pictures of FEMA, and they fixed the road for us. We had to pay for it. I mean, we had to do the work and pay for it first, and they come back and reimburse us. But we got the gravel out of pasture because they used that gravel highway 2 and the dirt out of pasture, fixed them roads, made ditches along there, so didn't cost the township a penny when we got done. Well, in 99, we went over the road again. They did the same thing. They took dirt to wherever we get it and took it out of pasture in the yard. There would be a ditch and get it at the same time. Cleaned everything up, and they took the dirt and gravel out of pasture again, so nobody had to put no money out. Put the gravel on other roads that could be used, so we had our own gravel from there, so good enough to travel. We needed it because the road isn't that heavily traveled, and we take care of ourselves anyway. So anyhow, it got so bad, they graded that one at the house there. In the spring, we picked rocks. For many years, we picked rocks. Every spring, they graded the rest of the year because you couldn't grade it. Well, then it got so bad now last year that you couldn't grade south down there all the way across the slough because it was all rock. So anyway, during that time, since 1912, the township put 2 loads of dirt on the road. That's all they paid. Did, and we got. I put 2 loads on in front of our driveway. That's paid for myself. And last year they finally graveled the thing all the way from one end to the other. I'm waiting for somebody to bellyache about it. Tell them, you know, we paid taxes in 1912 on this road, and that's all we ever got, 2 loads of dirt all this time. The rest is all done by FEMA. And furthermore, you got all the gravel up pasture, and the gravel should have been put on. It wasn't put on. It put on our prices in the township, so you got nothing to bellyache about.
I hear that you still drive bus. Is that true?
Yep, I still drive the bus.
When did you start driving?
It's be 48 years ago this spring when I get done.
How many traffic tickets have you accumulated in that time?
Well, none of the bus. I got picked up overweight a couple times with a truck.
Overweight, you say?
Overweight with that, yeah. Been pretty lucky. I mean, I can't complain. The people have been real good about the state patrol, and all have been good to the person, so I can't really complain about them either. You know, they've been.
How have the students changed in 48 years?
Well, I'll tell you, this year I got the best bunch of students I've had for I don't know how many years. All very pleasant, very, very respectful people, and very young, very nice young people.
That's good to hear.
It's good to hear. You know, all the kids. I mean, no matter what color they are, they're all the same. And, you know, I always figured I don't care what color your skin is, they're all the same. We're all equal. When we go to the hospital for a blood transfusion, it don't matter what kind of person it comes out. Black, green, pink, purple, it's all the same blood. We're all got the same blood. Funny, it's all red. So there is no prejudice with me.
And for having a nice bus driver like you, it keeps the kids in a good mood, I suppose.
Well, they behave. Behavior is number one as far as I'm concerned. You know, when you get off the bus in the morning with behaving themselves very well, the teacher's got a chance to teach them something. But if you get off the bus all stirred up and rattled up and want to raise Cain, they got a chance already to be disruptive in school. And no respect for the other people around them. I like to see them have respect for other people around them, and I like to see them get off the bus in a good manner and be happy about things, and that's the way it should be. And why should 1 or 2 kids try to load over everybody else? We're all the same, and they're all equal. No one's no better than the other. I kind of grew up in them circumstances. I can remember real well. You know, we're kind of underdogs, so the big shots they don't appeal.
In what way was that?
Well,
Economically, or
yes, because people back then in the 50s and 40s, late 40s or middle 50s, the farming was absolutely no good. I remember Dad sold feeder pigs $3 a piece. Calves were 18 cents a pound in the fall, so there was no money to be had. And the rest of them, some had pretty fair jobs in town, and they could buy more stuff than they ever hoped they'd ever think of. And the teachers always respected them kids a lot more than they did us. And I've had very, very bad taste with them all for that kind of stuff ever since. Anyway,
so you've been sensitive to treat everybody equally.
Equal. That's the way I treat them. You like to be treated equal, so do I. Same way.
No matter how much money we have, we're still the same.
We're all the same. We all got the same kind of blood. We all got red blood in us. Every one of us. One ain't no better than the other.
And hence your motto on the front here: "Proud to be an American."
Right. And that also reverts back to the people that kept us free. That's just remember forever. Is being proud to be American. Remember forever. It's basically for the veterans. You stop and look at that one. Think about that. It's a veterans type thing. They kept us free. People forget about that, about the freedom we have. They want to give it away all the time. You know how it is. Remember that you come down boy that one night there. And I don't go for that. I mean, I fight for what I think is right, and I don't care. This idea of selling your rights down the drain for somebody else, I don't think is right. I'm not the Lord. I can't tell somebody how to live. Why should they tell me how to live? Oh, that bothers me. That kind of stuff, don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, you must. You've had some time on this earth, so.
Yeah, we got a lot of time on this thing here. I like it. I mean, I think we live in a very, very nice country. About the nicest country to live in.
I hear you have a photo history of the project here.
I do. I started when they first started painting or cutting the iron out, and I've got pictures of Irv where Irv drew what he wanted it to look like on his garage floor.
Is that something we could actually see, do you think? Are they?
Oh, sure. I have them. I can email them to you, and you can have them.
Oh, that'd be great.
Even today's, I can give you some today's, and well, from the time they started it until the guys all came out here and helped them put it up, you can have those.
That'd be nice to see the process, and then we could.
Sure. That's what I've been doing, is doing it as the process goes on. Oh, I think it's beautiful, and I think it's great. I think it's great that somebody took the interest to, initiate this and get it going and fix it up like this. I think it's a beautiful job. But then, you see, I'm kind of biased on that, too, because my husband helped do it, so... But I just think they did a great job.
Do you, I notice that cross up there is really an interesting design. Do you know what design that is?
Irvin did the ordering of all of the things like that up there, so I really don't know. The painting of the flowers and the deer and the tree, I did those, and I can do plain painting like that, but then the guys said, well, gee, we'd like to have eyes and a face on those deer. Oh my gosh, I'm not an artist. I can't do that. So I called my friend Maureen O'Brien, and she came out and spent some time with me and visited and painted in the eyes and the face on the deer for us. Beautiful. Yeah, it was very nice of her to do that for us. Yeah. So
you did the flowers, and Maureen O'Brien helped with the deer.
She put the faces on them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice project finished.
Mm-hmm. It's Don Larson, correct?
Yeah.
Is there any thing you could tell us about the rock work?
Well, they're local. We got them out of a gravel pit right up here, about a mile. And
is it you
rock?
You find handsome rock like this? It looks like you took some time picking out some beautiful.
Yeah, a little picking it does, but it's a real thing. What you see mostly in town is a fake, So.
And your method, I see you have some square and some flat and some round.
Yeah, to mix them up. You kind of go by the feel so that they fit together and look strong.
And the ones on the corners look like they actually have natural squared off corners.
Yeah, they are. That's the way they come. A lot of times I split them. And like down by Paul Bunyan, that planter for the Girl Scouts, years ago I built that.
down at the school was built kind of a deal there.
Do you have a boy that lives in the neighborhood?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Dick. He lives. You go down.
Oh, I've met Dick. And your grandson?
Oh, there's Alex and Sam.
Sam. Oh, yeah. No, I met them and I've talked to them before about stone masonry chimneys.
Yeah, they do the work now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I didn't connect them, and I didn't realize you were
Oh,
Dick's father.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, great family.
yeah.
But this is beautiful. I like the stones that you picked out, the different colors.
Yeah.
Do you know what type of stone are these? These are, I see
Well,
some,
These are mostly granite and this basalt, and that's about it. Granite and basalt.
where did you learn your stone masonry from?
Dad was a mason. He come from Denmark.
And he came over, how old was he when he came over to this country?
16.
Did he tutor over there as a stonemason?
He had an uncle that was a mason, and I think that's where he got started. I don't think he served apprenticeship there, but
I wonder how many generations back do you know masonry went in your family?
as far as I know, just my father, Dick's grandpa, my father. I burned a lot of wood.
What kind of foundation is under the stones here?
It goes down 3 feet. There's piers that drill down, and then there's a slab over the top of the piers. There's 4 piers that go down, more than 3 feet, and then a slab on top of it, and then there goes reinforcing rods in that slab go clear up to the top here.
Those are 8-inch piers?
I think they're 6.
How long did it take you?
Well, I worked off and on. I suppose if I'd worked steady, maybe I could build one. I might be able to build one today. Well, a little, maybe a day and a half. But I just worked down here a couple hours now and then. And I built piers similar to this over in Meadowview Cemetery. Over, you know where that is? It's over near Solway. A little, be about 5 miles northeast of Solway.
You told me something about working with stone, the type of frame of mind that you get in when you're working. Could you tell me a little about that?
It's kind of an art. You place them where they look good, strong. Like these corners, you tie them in like this, and you don't want to get straight lines up.
Now, is there a...
I go by the feel. What feels good, looks good. It's the only way I could explain it.
What do you think about when you're laying the stone?
I'm thinking all the time. I can see it in my mind.
It must be relaxing or meditative.
Yeah, you can get a picture of it in your mind, and just something that feels good.
So you start out with a pile of rocks here, and you look at each one, and
Yeah,
it lets you know where to put it.
yeah, and so you don't have too many straight lines, and not to get too much mortar showing. Did a little here.
What kind of warranty do you give with the pillars here?
100 years.
Good.
I think it's real nice. Somebody put a lot of work in here, and I'm proud of it.
It's nice to know that you had Something to do with the cornerstone.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I should have never thought of it until just now. I should have led a hole underneath here and then a glass jar. It still could be done. And then put the history like under.
Capsule.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Sure, in 100 years from now, somebody could look there.
Yeah. You know, down at Wilton, down there between the two lakes, Grant Lake, Big Grant, I did stonework there in Rungland.
Rogland Park.
Yeah. Anyway, under the cap, under a piece of granite over the top. First I tore it apart, and in it I found a jar with the history of it. And he lives out in California at that time. He might not be alive. He was a dentist here in Bemidji. And so we took a copy of it, sent him, and then we put the rest in a glass jar underneath the top for the history. This still could be done.
When you work with stone, you're always leaving a legacy.
Yeah.
You said something about adhering the latch. You still have a little more work to do here?
Yeah. We're going to drill in and this post, it wiggles a little, and we're going to drill in here and anchor this post in here. They felt it'd be a little more stable. It's not bad now, I don't think, but
Beautiful project.
yeah, it is.
So what is your what's your eye on? What's your next project?
Oh, I don't know. I'm a big gardener.
Well, thank you, men. Appreciate it. Appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.